I think it's pretty safe to say that by far, one of the most mysterious aspects of the Star Wars sequel trilogy has all to do with Rey's lineage and her parentage, and exactly where Rey really comes from and who she really is in these Star Wars movies. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So, one exciting element of Episode 9 is that we do know that during the rewrites of this film for the months of November and December of 2018 between Abrams, Lucas, and even Chris Terrio, is that they changed a lot of elements of Rey's lineage in this story that would actually be used in a way for many of the reshoots that are taking place from, of course, April of this year all the way until September. So that's a lot of reshoots for the second and the third acts of Episode 9. Usually does happen with a lot of Star Wars films. If it weren't for the reshoots for of course Rogue One, we wouldn't have Darth Vader at all. So with that being said, what's really intriguing about this is that these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions and one of the set leaks, this is where things begin to get very interesting for Reys Mother in Episode 9. Now specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of Rey traveling on her speeder on an unknown world where it's described that she is traveling to a large structure that is said to be built into a large canyon that was said to once be the home of her fathers. It's said that at one point in time, Rey goes inside of the building and travels down to the basement, where Rey discovers many new secrets of her parents. It's said that one of the scenes that were filmed for this moment took place over in Cardington during the month of October of 2018, where Reys Mother's costume was used on set that was described to be a long white dress with what was dubbed as a Force logo on the back. The costume design was dubbed as Melinza Avasi Sella, COTF_TO2. Now, the outfit is described to where it's said to be a scene where Rey discovers her mother's dress that was left behind in her father's home. It's described that during this scene of Rey reminiscing the past, a flashback scene is said to be tied to this very moment, where it's transitioning to a young Rey and her mother. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, this is a moment in which we have Rey reminiscing the past, going into her father's home, and discovering the dress of her mother that was left behind, and kept by her father before her father actually vanished somewhere in the galaxy. Now, what's really intriguing about this is that Rey's mother's name, the actual costume, is dubbed as Melinza Avasi Sella, COTF_202. Now, what I like about this is that we also know that Episode 9 is going to really tap into Rey's mother a lot in this movie, not just her father, but it's also going to answer a lot of questions related to her mother. Now, the mother of Rey is said to, yes, also be an important figure in this film, however, not quite important as her father. Her father is said to be the main focus in this story when it comes to Rey's parentage and exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to utilize Rey's lineage and how she's going to evolve as a character. And with that being said, we also know that Episode 9 is really going to tap into the aspect of family a whole lot more in comparison to how it was used in The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, which is great because at the end of the day, that is the heart of the Star Wars franchise, and the fact that they are bringing that back in full force here is a really good thing. So I want to go over the actual costume design. Now, it's said that on Rey's mother's outfit, that is once again dubbed as Melinza Avasi Sella, COTF_TO2. Now, what I like about this is, of course, we have a moment in which we are actually involving Rey going into her father's home, discovering this outfit that once belonged to her mother. And with that being said, on the back of this costume, it's described that there is a dubbed thing called a Force logo. Now, I'm not quite sure exactly what that means. This could very well have something to do with the Church of the Force. In case you guys have not read the Force Awakens novelization, you do learn a little bit about the Church of the Force, as well as in other books that actually are part of the Disney canon under the Star Wars franchise. And we will be learning more about the Church of the Force in Star Wars Episode 9 by JJ. From what it seems, JJ really is diving into the books and exploring many of those different aspects and really putting it into film here in order to make the fans better understand exactly what's going on in the background and what actually happened many years ago before the events of the sequel trilogy. Now, the last thing that I really want to touch on here is this massive structure that is said to be built into the canyon. Now, this is once again said to be the home of Rey's father. It's said to be a mixture of a laboratory where he did a lot of his research and collected a lot of Jedi and Sith lore, but it also served as a hiding spot, if you will. after his time on whatever world he was working on with Palpatine. He actually did have some kind of alliance with Sidious at one point in time and created the actual clones that were eventually destroyed by Luke Skywalker himself, giving us a little parallel, a little mirror, if you will, to what happened in Star Wars Legends / the Expanded Universe. So that's the great thing about this film, is that not only are we going to have a lot of callbacks to Legends and the EU, etc., but it's also going to have a lot of prequel trilogy and original trilogy continuity involved in this actual movie itself. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.